Welcome to MMA Fight Predictor. Today we are covering UFC 288 from Newark, New Jersey. Prelim start at 6 p.m. Main card starts at 10 p.m. and both of them times are Eastern. For those who have not watched this before, we cover UFC fights, the pay-per-views. We give you a few picks. We hope you win money. If you don't, sorry. We'll recap of last pay-per-view, which is not good. UFC 287. I went 3-4. Would you go?
3-4.
He went 3-4. So that was a little rough.
That was actually our first losing
Card
that since we've been doing YouTube. It is our first losing card, and we're still on the upside. We still have winning records here. So overall, we're still in the money, and hopefully you guys are too. Can't pick every fight correctly, and this is what happens. Everybody's bound to have a bad day here and there. As confident as we felt last time, it just didn't work out. We both went 3-4, so we're here to change it up this time and hopefully do a lot better on this card.
I hope. With that being said, instead of picking the usual 6 or 7 fights that I usually pick, I'm not that confident anymore, so I only chose 3 fights today.
Well, at least you're honest about this. You're lowering your picks, and at least you said I'm not that confident anymore after the last card, which I understand. But
it hurt my feelings. So, anyway, with that being said, all 3 of my fights are on the prelims. I've got some opinions on the main card, but these are just the ones that I'm confident in at this point. Third fight of the night, I've got Rafael Estevam. I got him at -160 on PointsBet. He's undefeated. He's 11-0. It's his second UFC fight. This is more about his opponent, though. His opponent has lost 3 in a row and is also 8 years older. That's never good. And especially getting I can get a guy at -160 is really good. Only other thing I got written down here is Estevam has the capability of winning by TKO or submission. Out of his 11 fights, I want to say 9 or 10 of them have either been by submission or TKO. He rarely goes to decision. You want me to do my 2 other ones, or you want to get one in?
Yeah, since you're on the prelims, I can go ahead and... Mine is the first fight of the night, actually, I believe, and it's Daniel Santos over Johnny Munoz. Santos is only 1-1 in the UFC. Seems to be a knockout artist from all of his previous fights. So yeah, I'm going to pick him by 2nd or 3rd round KO here, or TKO. Munoz just, I don't know, he doesn't do anything for me, and Santos seems like he's an exciting fighter and still hungry for that goal. So yeah, I got Daniel Santos by KO in 2nd or 3rd round here.
All right, my second pick is Ikram Alaskarov. I could be saying that wrong. Anyway, he's -210 on Bet365. I've also got this as my lock of the night. This guy's 13-1 overall. It's his second UFC fight. He's a Dagestan fighter, so you know he can wrestle. His only loss is to Khamzat Chimaev, and that was 3 years ago. Now, the opponent here is Phil Hawes, who's coming off a loss. What is worrisome about this fight is Hawes is from New Jersey, so he's going to have the home court advantage, I guess you could say. But these Russian fighters tend not to really let that bother them. So I'm really liking this guy at -210.
Yeah, I think this is another prelim fight. Either or, we're going to go back and forth.
Yeah.
Since you only have a couple here. I might just sneak in a couple before you get to your last one.
Sure.
Yeah, I got Marina Rodriguez over Verna Jandiroba, or Jandiroba, however you want to pronounce that. Marina Rodriguez has beaten a lot of tough girls. Mackenzie Dern, Michelle Watterson, Amanda Ribas, Cynthia Calvillo, Randa Marcos. Verna just hasn't been in with any good quality opponents other than Angela Hill. And however, she did win that fight. And Felice Herrig, which has not sniffed the UFC in the past few years. So no real quality wins for her. Still young in her career. Rodriguez is ranked number 5 and took a disappointing loss in her last fight. But that's exactly why I like her here. And I got her by unanimous decision, as Verna is probably durable enough to get through. If not, it'd probably be a late KO for Rodriguez here. Her striking is really good for women's MMA. And I'm going to go ahead and let's talk about Drew Dober here. Drew Dober and Matt Frevola. Matt Steamroller Frevola. Drew Dober in his last fight knocked out Bobby Green. He took out somebody that just never gets finished. And man, what a punch he landed to take him out. Drew Dober just seems like he's been a knockout machine lately. Pretty sure he's finished his last 3 fights by KO. And he's on the upswing. I think he's got it figured out in his career now, where he was kind of a mid-tier fighter. He is in the top 15. And I see nothing but a big win here. And to be honest, this is probably my lock of the night, so to speak. I'm going to put everything I have on the guy. I may not bet another fight on this card just because I like his guy so much. But I got him by a 3rd round KO. Frevola does have enough cardio and stamina, and he's just good enough to get into that 3rd round. But a late 2nd round or 3rd round KO, Drew Dober, big time pick for me. Take it to the bank. That's a cash and ticket.
All right, take it to the bank. Nice. All right, my 3rd and final pick. I've got a nice underdog here. You've probably never heard of this guy. His name is Braxton Smith. He's fighting Parker Porter. Braxton Smith is 5-1 overall. All 5 wins are by knockout. UFC debut. This guy is the true unknown. Sherdog doesn't even know how old he is.
Wow.
They don't have an age for him.
Did he come off of Contenders?
No, I can't remember. I think he's from like FC something. If I remember correctly.
Okay.
But anyway, Sherdog don't even know how old he is. They don't even have an age for him. It just says not available. But I did some deep research on the internet, and I found out that he's 34 years old. But with that being said,
at 34, he probably doesn't have a lot of fight mileage on him, though. I mean,
he's only got 6 fights.
Yeah, so
Porter's coming off 2 losses. He's 38 years old.
With a lot of fight mileage on him. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's been around.
The Smith guy, and I found a picture of him. On UFC.com we're looking right now. They don't even have an image for the guy.
Yeah, it's a shadow.
But I found a picture of him on Sherdog, at least. He sort of just looks like, the guy that shows up to the cookout and eats all the food.
Oh, okay.
But I think he's just going to get the job done here. And he's plus 155.
So he's got the extra stacked dad bod, huh?
Dude, he's
sitting over in a corner eating the hot dogs and hamburgers, watching the kids play.
Dude, he's like the true unknown here, and no one knows this guy, and I'm taking him up plus 155.
There you go. Hey, and an underdog. I like that.
An underdog, younger, opponent's not that great. No one knows this guy. I love it.
Nice. Hell yeah.
So.
I mean, even though you ain't got many fights, it seems like you took 3 of the undercard fighters, which I was a little shocked at. Knowing you and who you are, I mean.
Yeah, so my fights actually all come in a row. It's the 3rd fight of the night, the 4th fight of the night, and the 5th fight of the night. So
nice.
I'm going to be on a...
Yeah.
It's either really good or really bad real quick.
I know you got some opinions on the main card, so I want to take another fight here and let you talk about, one of your opinions or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm not really confident about this fight, so I'm just going to go ahead and get this lean out of the way. Chaos Williams, this guy brings it hot and heavy early on. He's fighting Rolando Bedoya, but Chaos Williams, he comes out on fire, and I just think that he's going to get it done in the 1st round. It's not an official pick, but it's a little bit of a lean, And I think the prop bet there would, by KO, would be beneficial to anybody who might want to take a stab at that, as I am not. And so my next pick is Gilbert Burns over Bilal Muhammad. Gilbert Burns just fought a few weeks ago, and I think he's going to do this by decision. It could be a late stoppage. Bilal Muhammad actually took this on a short notice, and he hasn't fought in a while, so depends on how he got off that couch as to how he's going to perform. And it is a 5-round fight. Even though it's the co-main event, this is a 5-round fight. Both fighters wanted it. They got it. So, in my opinion, Gilbert Burns has been more active. Although he fought just a few weeks ago, he really didn't take any damage or anything. And he beat Jorge Masvidal, which I think was your lock of the night last time.
Yeah, and, it was a fight I actually got right.
Yeah. Well, one of the three.
Yeah, one of the three. Yeah.
Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah.
Bilal Muhammad, hell of a fighter. I really like the guy, but I think Gilbert Burns is just on another level right now, and I'm taking Gilbert Burns. And I'm going to talk about one more fight, and then you can talk about some of the main card. Bryce Mitchell lost his last fight to Ilya Topuria, and in my opinion, it just wasn't Bryce Mitchell that showed up that night.
He was sick.
Yeah, so there was issues in that fight. He didn't feel well. It wasn't him fighting that night. Must have been his ghost or something, but he just wasn't there. He wasn't in that fight at all. So I have a feeling he's going to come back and really make a statement here. I got Bryce Mitchell by a 2nd-round sub, and that is an official pick.
Oh,
I think he's going to finish this guy by a submission in 2nd round. And I do have a couple more picks here, but I'm going to go ahead and let Drew talk about the main card a little bit because he does have a couple of things going on. So
yeah, my thoughts on the main card. These are really good fights and just hard to pick somebody and actually wager money on it. Obviously, like I like Charles Jourdain, but he's lost 2 in a row, so that's hard to pick. Bryce Mitchell, I agree with him. I do like Bryce Mitchell there, but the guy he's fighting's like great, so it's hard to even. You are getting over 2 to 1 on Bryce Mitchell, so I guess you could lay a little bit, but this guy that he's fighting is really good.
Yeah.
So Andrade versus Jan fight, like I like Jessica Andrade there, but this Jan girl's good. I mean, you got to pay minus 200 to get Andrade. So, and then the co-main event and the main event. If you guys wanted to actually wager money on one, I would say find a penny in your couch cushion. Pick one fighter for heads, pick one fighter for tails, flip it, and whatever you get, you get.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, they are competitive fights. It's just
and they're both pretty much pick'ems.
Yeah.
In the main, I mean, when this first got announced, I was like, yeah, Sterling's going to get him. But then the more that's getting talked, Sterling's talking retirement and stuff, and it's just like, well, you might want to bet Cejudo here.
Moving up weight classes.
Yeah, moving up. He's talking too much, man. He's saying too much. He's doing too much. It's like Cejudo's just sitting there training, and Cejudo's really good. So, but I can also see where Cejudo ain't fought in, what, 3-4 years?
Yeah, he's been out for 3 years.
Yeah, so it's like there's going to be ring rust, and so like I said, just get a penny out, flip a coin.
Yeah. I can see where you're coming from there. I mean, they are very competitive fights. I mean, the Gilbert Burns fight, I actually have a great opinion on, and there's something I like there.
Muhammad's tough, though, man. Muhammad is the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good fighter, but it's that 2-week training camp that I'm worried about.
I can see that, right.
And Gilbert Burns has been really active, and it just seems like he's hit another gear in his career. So
yeah, I agree.
And that's kind of why I'm there on Gilbert. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to the main event, even though I got another pick. The main event, I don't even have a bet for it. I do have a really good lean, though. And I think this fight goes the distance. I don't think there's going to be a finish here. I think it's going to go to the distance. I think it's going to be a decision. Who's going to win? Like he said, flip a coin. That's kind of how I think about this fight as well. But as a lean, if I were to take a bet on this fight, I wouldn't even bet the fight itself. I would take the go to distance prop, and I think that's the way to go here.
Do you have odds on the distance?
No, I do not have the odds on that.
Well, you keep talking. I'll look that up.
Yeah, and he's going to look at the go to distance on that. I'm not sure what it's going to be. It might be close to even, to be honest.
Really?
So I do have one more pick here. Jessica Andrade. She said she had an equipment malfunction on her last fight, where her breast almost got exposed, and took her mind off the fight for a second, got caught, and then finished. Is that true? I don't know. It definitely didn't seem like her at the time when she lost that fight. She does fight differently. However, we will find out in this fight, because Xiaonan Yan is an incredible striker. I do see several more paths to victory for Jessica Andrade than I do Yan, and that's why I'm taking Andrade. I think Andrade is going to finish her in the second round by KO. Andrade is just so good, and recency bias and the way and her last fight, you're only as good as your last fight kind of deal. Might be playing with the odds a little bit, but I think she should be a little higher favorite in this position. However, Jessica Andrade is my pick, second round KO. And that does it for my picks. I'll go ahead and go through it again real quick. I got Daniel Santos over Johnny Munoz. I do see a fight ending KO, second or third round. Marina Rodriguez by decision, possible late stoppage. Drew Dober, my lock of the night for sure. Man, he's hit another gear in his career as well. I see him finishing the fight in the third. It could go to a decision, but I like Drew Dober by KO. Bryce Mitchell, I think he comes out and makes a statement after that lackluster performance in the last time. He had issues in that fight. Apparently he was sick or whatever, but I like him by submission, actually. But Bryce Mitchell wins the fight regardless. Submission, decision, however it works. Jessica Andrade by KO. Gilbert Burns, I like a late finish, only because Bilal Muhammad hasn't been in a fight camp, so to speak. And I think it will play with his conditioning some. So I like a late finish in that fight. Gilbert Burns has been real active and looks better than ever, in my opinion. And then, like I said, the main event, I do like it to go to distance. And
yes is minus 135, no is even money.
So fight going to distance is minus 135, close to even. Like I thought. I figured it'd probably be a coin flip there, but minus 135 to go the distance there. I think that's a pretty good solid bet, even though I'm not taking it. So my official picks, he has 3 fights picked officially.
I've got Estevam, Aliskarov, and Smith. My lock of the night is Eskarov, and if you do a parlay with all 3 of these, it pays 5 to 1. And that, I can't remember on what site that is, but it's going to be around the same on all 3, or whatever site you use, I'd say. It'd be close. So, all right.
Yeah, I have 6 official picks, and I just ran down the list for you there. I do have a parlay picked here. Rarely do I go over 3 fighters for a parlay, but I got 4 fighters picked here on a parlay. Jessica Andrade, Drew Dober, Marina Rodriguez, Daniel Santos. That's a plus 485 parlay there, almost 5 to 1. About like your parlay, but you only have 1 fight less to worry about. And then, once again, my so-called lock of the night, Drew Dober, minus 205 is the odds I seen on him. And just to go over our overall records here.
Oh, yeah.
Even though we had bad weeks last week at 3-4, Drew's overall record is 13-7, and my overall record is 12-7-1. Almost identical here. Even though we pick a lot of different fights, we have almost the same identical record.
And I believe that's over the last 3 pay-per-views.
Yeah, it's over 3 pay-per-views, so it's a good little sample size. This is our 4th video picking fights on pay-per-views, and hey, I really feel good about this one. I haven't felt good about one since the first one we did, other than the John Jones fight. Yeah, I really feel good about this, and obviously you aren't feeling so spiffy because of the last.
Yeah, I'm a little depressed.
You're only as good as your last picks, I guess.
Exactly. I'm only as good. So I'm calming it down to only 3 fights. 3 winners, though. 3 winners.
Yeah, so I don't think we have any of the same fights picked, so I'll be rooting for you on those, and you can root for me on mine.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and like I said, guys, I hope we bring you some winners this time. Yeah, we had a bad week, bad month, bad week, bad fight card in 287. But we're going to turn around here in 288. We got some winners here for you. And hopefully you make out just as well as we do. Until next time, please like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. And we'll continue to get videos out for you. Next one will be 289, which looks like a solid card. And until then, we'll see you.
Thank
Peace
you.
out.